City of Angels is black and gold. You are listening to the Heart of LAFC podcast. And now, Joseph Zacher.
What is good, everyone? Welcome to episode 393. We're calling this episode Sky's the Limit after our most wonderful, successful win over the Club America on last week. It's your boy Bam and your boy Tony here today. It's currently 3:30 p.m. here in Melbourne, Australia. It's 10:30 p.m. in LA, and it's 2:30 p.m. in Tokyo. Why am I mentioning Tokyo? Joseph's not here at the moment. He won't be here for most of this month as he's chilling out in Tokyo with having a little family holiday. So we all miss him. I'm glad he's having a nice holiday. Tony, how are you today?
I'm doing pretty well, still a little bit on that high of that playing game. We are in the Club World Cup, spoiler alert, as most of you probably have seen it all over socials, the news, Deportes, whatever you get your information from. And, it was the second best moment. I don't know. It ranks pretty high up there as one of the best moments I've had on the field, being there in the stadium.
Oh, yeah. I'd say at least top three, top obviously being winning MLS Cup. Second for me would be winning the US Open Cup. So this would be third, making it to the Club World Cup. So for me at the moment, it is definitely top three. Let's just jump straight into that, shall we? Because we all know it was a big game, not only for us, but for the players as well. Coming in, we're playing Club America, playing a game because Leon got kicked out of the Club World Cup, and they decided to throw it to either us or Club America, but decided to give us a playoff game. Starting 11 for that game, obviously we had Lloris in goal, Long and Segura, centre-backs, Hollingshead and Palencia as our wing-backs, Tillman, Jesus, and Delgado in the midfield, Bouanga, Bobasi, and Ordaz up top. I was watching this game on the Zone, the free DAZN, and oh my God, the commentator could not get Ordaz's name wrong. Kept calling Ordaz.
Well, that was also Bouanga's situation, if you also listened to it, wasn't it?
Yeah, a bit of Bouanga as well. And then there was a bit of, instead of Jesus, it was a bit of Jesus as well going on there. So I don't know what was going on with the commentary team, but I was on the free one. That's all I had. So for those in the stands, obviously not having to listen to that was great. Going to the game, Tony, what did you think of the starting lineup?
During the center lineup, it was actually, I thought it was a fighting chance, what I wanted. Again, this is as much as they have been the biggest club in the Liga MX and CONCACAF for the past couple of years. And with the starting lineup that we had, I felt like we had a great opportunity to win. And depending on how we started and how we showed up, and how they showed up, which we'll get into that. It could have been, it was meant for the ages is the best way to say that.
Oh, completely 100%. Let's jump into the first half. Tony, what really happened in the first half?
First half was literally a back and forth of just again, I don't think America showed up, to be honest. I think they played not respecting us. There's a lot of disrespect in the stadiums. I'll get back to that. I'll get into that later, as in the post game and everything like that. There was a lot of disrespect for the America and Club America fans with us. Again, I understand that this was the only situation where the playing game was supposed to be at our stadium, but it was our home stadium. I don't care who you are. I don't care what it is. And it didn't as much as there was a lot of yellow, we showed up. And again, they didn't. The America team, I felt was very weak. They weren't playing well. They were playing kind of quote unquote tired. And this is just a prime example of everyone, out of everyone, they saying oh, we had injured players. They had this and they have the bigger bankroll. This is the same situation we always come into. Remember, Toronto likes to do the excuse of we don't have quality on the bench. We don't have that star player on the bench for the money and the right things. They do. And, I don't care who you are. And yes, they're saying like, well, the game that they came in from last one is different than they are. We both had the same type of rest. We both had the same thing. And for the undefeated streak, we were still coming in bad. Like, last 2 episodes, tying to the last and second to last place team, we weren't doing well. So the first half, there was opportunities, but it was just a sloppy first half on both accounts.
100% there. The first half to me was more of a, we're both going to push a little bit, but we're also going to be cautious, which I wasn't too bad with us playing. Obviously Club America coming off losing to Luca, so they obviously wanted some revenge. We obviously not having the greatest run up to this game. We obviously wanted to try something differently. So the first half, as you said, it was a bit back and forward, which going to that halftime being 0-0, I was happy with that. Obviously at halftime, we didn't make any subs, but Club America did. They brought on Dos Santos and B-Rod.
Mm-hmm.
What did B-Rod do in the second half there?
No, in the 64th minute, we gave up a penalty. After review, it gets in. There's a bang play. After review, the referee goes to VAR. It's a penalty. Delgado got lucky. I'm going to say this. It was a penalty. Delgado got lucky. He didn't get a red. I'm going to say that. Studs up, flying in the penalty box. I'm surprised he didn't get that red, but fortune favored us on that one. And yellow card, yes, B-Rod puts it away. Kudos to him for not celebrating as he should have because of it. Still some respect towards his former club. So thank you for that. But unfortunately, we're down in the 64th minute, 1-0. And, the dramatics come with it with, 68th substitution of Ordaz coming out, Martinez coming in, Ebobisi coming out, Giroud coming in, and Delgado coming out and Under coming in, which unfortunately there's going to be a substitution on that later on, but that just leads up to the 89th minute. We were finally fighting back, trying to show some spirit, trying to get back into the game. Bouanga was doing everything he could on his left-hand side to get down the way and get into the goal. A lot of missed opportunities. But until the 89th minute is when, let's just say the stadium erupted with black and gold of, the cross coming in and Jesus with the header pushing it in. Of course, the mistake with America, everyone's been talking about it on the Mexican media and, of course, some here in the U.S. media, is the substitutions that a Club America decided to make in that minute. Marquez and Calderon coming in, and it's one of those things of like, as in a tight game, you have the game in process. Why are you making the substitutions on a corner kick? Because it's just everyone knows the role. Now you're adding a variable to the situation, and good for us. We go in and tie it 1-1. And unfortunately, Under picks up a little injury, and Amaya has to come in the 4th minute of extra time in the regulation, and we ended up going into overtime for just decides the fate of this.
Yeah, that second half was, I was on the edge of my seat leading up to the 89th minute. Like that, Delgado was, as you said, was lucky. Penalty 100%. B-Rod scores it, which is, I'm surprised that B-Rod was actually scoring goals. He wasn't doing much with us, but I was glad he didn't really celebrate. Watching the game, Eagles Jesus jumping up, getting that header, that was just magnificent. Look, if you're an attacking team, substitutions on corners, that's okay. Defending team, you never do that. Doesn't matter who you are, you should never do that. Obviously, with Under getting that little knock 20 minutes after coming in, it's not what we want to see. As you said, 1-1 at full time. Obviously, we can't end the game being a draw, so we got to go into extra time.
And pretty much extra time just gets into the win was knocked out of them, and we had the fight going in. The first half of the extra time, you could see us totally dominating and pushing them to the limit. they didn't have any answers for us, and the opportunities that they could get in, we kind of locked down. And it wasn't like the only substitutions that we had. That like they made some substitutions in the beginning of the month for Valdez coming in and Mario coming in, but we made our own substitution in the 6th minute with Arlong coming out and Marlon coming in, and in the and that was in the second half, and then pretty much in the 115th minute with assist by Drew, but it was kind of he laid it off and was going to try to do something, but backed off and saw the opportunity, and Boanga shoots it, hits the inside of the thighs of the America's defender. I don't know who it was because it was just, again, blur. Even if I still watch it, I still get into a blur, and it puts it in the back of the net, pushing us into the Club World Cup, and kind of shutting down the America supporters and fans who thought that of course they should have been here. There's a lot of complaints of everything from that shouldn't have happened, and what the hell, the motion is now the notion with America is sin Liga, sin Campeones, sin Club World Cup. And we book our ticket to face Chelsea on June 13th.
Yeah, that's injury time, or sorry, extra time was magnificent. I don't think Giroud intended that little assist.
Mm-mm.
It was Boanga was running. He thought he would have a crack, took a swing, and what a swing it was. When that went in, it seemed to wake up Club America a little bit. They started attacking a little bit more, but obviously our defense was able to shut them down. As a whole, I thought the game was great. It was a good little way to confirm who gets that extra spot. I wouldn't be surprised if in the future they might have a spot for North America, and it's like, all right, you didn't qualify through winning Champions League, whatever, that kind of stuff. Here's a playoff game. I could see how FIFA can make a bit of money by doing this and having that little playoff game in the future. Because I think it was just a great spectacle that we were able to show them. So would you see more playoff games in the future?
I don't know, because this is their first opportunity to sell the Club World Cup, and as you've been seeing on reports, they've been slashing ticket prices because no one wants to go to these games. I think the buzz for it and everything, because you have the opening game cutting half is, and yes, it's in Miami, but most of the people who can see Messi play can see him there. It's not anywhere else. And then you also have this, unfortunate for us, but is that it's not on the West Coast, when you could probably draw more people from LAFC and everything if it was on the East Coast. Like, again, traveling to Atlanta, traveling to Nashville, and I forget where the other one is great for supporters and everything, but it's just the buzz of this Club World Cup has just been diminishing and everything. So that there's just been a big miss. It could be because the US has, is bigger than most countries. The travel is crazy. As most of us know, it's not a 3-hour trip to get to place. It's 8 hours, 6 hours, 9 hours, depending on what time you're leaving, if you have layaways and stuff like that. And so I could see that, but it's just, you have to benefit playoff games. This one was the right opportunity to just show it, to just kind of test drive it, and they got lucky. But I don't see that happening again.
Yeah, I understand that too, but I think just try and get some more people involved and all that kind of stuff. I could see them doing it just as a way to make money, because, as you said, ticket prices are getting cut, and this was a good little money grab for FIFA, because obviously it's a FIFA run event. Looking on to, I'll do a little recap of LAFC 2. They played Sunday, obviously, against the Town. As Araceli said last game, it will be a big test because the Town were unbeaten in 5. Unfortunately, we couldn't beat them this time. We lost 2-1 at home. They scored in the 16th Wibowo scored in the 47th for us, and then they scored in the 85th. So going in 2-1 to the town. LAFC's next game, they got this weekend off. They don't play until Thursday the 12th. Will be the next game. So we'll see how they go against that. It's an away game to Vancouver Whitecaps. So we'll see what happens there. We've got a couple of comments in here. We'll see what people are saying. Obviously, we got Villa's in here saying that Ronaldo is his replacement. Dave Gomez in here. Sorry about the CWC. That Bonga Druid attack with Denny's finish was awesome. I agree 100%. And he's wondering who we're going to sign now that Modric and Griezmann have re-signed with their teams. Look, until there's a hat drop happening, I don't look at speculation too much. Like, yeah, there are rumors going around, but until I see a hat drop, that's where I'm going for with there. Tony, do you think we'll sign anyone before the Club World Cup?
It's going to be a hard one to say about that one because it's just we're not just signing for the Club World Cup, we're also signing for the opportunity to get furthermore into not for our future. You know what I mean? It's not just going to be a signing for 10 days. If it's going to be Ronaldo, it's going to be a 10-day one, and I'll be perfect. You know, play his couple games there. Maybe we get one game with him at home just so we can get, sell some more tickets out here in LA at BMO. But we're looking for the right opportunity, and we just can't pull the trigger on just anyone. I understand, this is the perfect opportunity, but also MLS teams have the opportunity to sign players as well. So I want a star player, but I want a star player that's going to benefit us going past this tournament.
Oh, 100% agree there. Like, yes, it'd be good to sign a big name for this little tournament, but I want to sign a big name for this tournament and further on.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens there. Dave Gomez also is saying he thinks we have a good shot of getting out of the group, but not easy. Look, you never know. Like, this is what I like about this Club World Cup is obviously first games against Chelsea. That means Chelsea be watching our players. They'll be wanting to know our players. Ordaz, Martinez, one of the young kids has a great game against Chelsea. Who knows? We might end up selling them to Chelsea for a big money. You never know that kind of stuff. So we'll see what happens there. Moving on to community news. Tony, much happening in the community at the moment?
Not at the moment. I know I saw that the kickball tournament is going to be coming on soon. I believe it was July 27th. I don't have the notes in front of me, but I will be leading it. The kickball tournament will be coming up soon. More info when I get registrations, how to sign up and everything like that. This year it's going to be a different cause I saw. So again, more info to come. And just pretty much the tailgate's coming up for this Sunday's game against SKC.
Yeah, so obviously when we get more information, we'll let you all know on that kind of stuff too. Black and Gold Vinyl Club Minute. I've got something for this.
Go for it.
I was going to go because obviously they announced where our training base will be during the Club World Cup. Our training base will be in one of the universities in Georgia. So for me, I'm going to go with Ray Charles, Georgia on my mind.
We've done that before.
Yeah.
We've done that before, but I understand that one.
Yeah, because that one there, obviously, we're going to be sitting a place we based out of there, training out of there. So for me, it's a great song too. So you can't be hating on that one too much.
I would probably go with, if we're going to change it up and it's going to be in Atlanta, Ludacris is the remix of Welcome to Atlanta with Jermaine Dupri and all that stuff.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Just change it up a little bit, that southern hip hop that, took over the 2000s and put not just Atlanta, but the South on the map.
Oh, 100%. Gotta go with that. Moving on, obviously, we've talked about it a little bit. Our next game is against SKC. SKC, the last 5 games have been 1 win, 3 draws, and 1 loss. They obviously had a 3-1 win in the last game against Houston. SKC are having one of those seasons where they'll beat some teams, but they cannot beat others. They've 4 wins, 8 losses, 4 ties. It's currently sitting 12th. We're sitting up in 6th. Head to head with them, it's always been some great games, I'll love to say. But we've got the wool over them at the moment with 9 wins, 2 draws, and 4 losses. Obviously, we had a 2-0 win earlier this season away. So see how they coming back into here. With this game, Tony, what do you expect SKC to bring?
We face an old familiar foe, as you also know, from Carson, Jolovic. And so he's been there. He's had the most shots on target, creating everything. And the most one with chances is Daniel Saloi. Sorry. Creating their chances. Yep. Yeah, slowly creating their chances. So I expect those two to show up. Again, it's a home match, so I expect, our home crowd to show up and take over as usual in the 32-52 for us to sing as loud as we can. And hopefully we don't take them for granted and play down to their level, because that's been our crutch, I guess is the best way to say it, of not playing to the potential that we can have, because 6th place is nice. That's playoff position. That's not a home game, but we should be at least the way we've been playing, the way of the last 2 games, we should have been at least had 2 more points, and we're tied in 2nd place, I believe, or in 2nd place with a decent lead. But unfortunately, we dropped those points and playing to the level of something mentality. So hopefully, with this past game, we finally got the momentum, the hype, the energy to move forward.
100% too. Like, I don't expect SKC to change their lineup from their last game, which was a convincing 3-1 win against Houston. They have Paul Scamp in goal, Shelton, Miller, Fernandez, and Demby in the back line, Barlett, Garcia, and Bassong in the midfield. And up top, obviously, we'll have Saloi, Tommy, and Jolovic. Jolovic always comes up against us. He's hated us from when he was playing at Carson. He's going to hate us playing for SKC. For our starting lineup, Tony, what do you... Obviously, we're going to have Lloris in goal. Who do you see in our centre backs?
I think it's probably going to be a more long Segura situation for this one. If we see Long, that would be my usually go-to, but I could kind of see more Long taking that spot for a little bit, just because how many minutes Long played the last game.
Yeah, I agree with that too. But you also look at as well, Segura played the whole game as well. So
yeah, but he's a little bit younger.
Yeah, so I reckon it'll be Segura and Marlon. I'd like to see that too. Outside backs, if they're fit, obviously I want to say Hollingshead, Palencia. Any different from that, Tony?
No, like I said, we did change it up a little bit the last match, but hold on, sorry, I think I have the wrong lineup. No, we did. I don't. Maybe we see Smoljovac. I think I said his name right. Coming in for that, because Long had a nice tenure. Hollings had a nice tenure there too, so I could see the youngin coming in and showing and see what he had got.
I can see that. For the midfield, I'll be surprised if it's not Tillman, Delgado, and Jesus. Mm-hmm. Obviously, with Jesus playing the whole game, him and Tillman playing the whole game might get a rest. I can see maybe us bringing in Amaya.
Mm-hmm.
But I reckon, if anything, I think it will be Delgado, Jesus, and Amaya.
I agree with that one. I'll say Delgado, Jesus, Amaya is that one. They're the best fit. We'll probably see a substitution late on for Tillman, but those are the best ones for me to say the same.
Yeah. And obviously, we don't know how bad the injury of Under is as well. So,
from reports, Under is going back to Fenerbahce, and that chapter with us is finally just done. So there's no re-signing him, no taking him for the buyout. Again, a huge buyout for him for us to keep him. And he didn't perform the way we expected him to. Like, he did have some moments, but not 20 million, I think it was.
No.
To buy him out to stay.
The big question I'll ask you is, would you take him back for another 6-month loan?
I wouldn't, just because of this opening that we have now in this window with a DP spot. Either sign someone who's going to actually bring it, use this DP spot for the right person, or just save it until the end of the season to see who we can potentially turn up, because again, it's just a slot that's just going to be used for a loan again, which again, that doesn't really sit right with me. I don't think it sit right with most of the players, because it's just not the players, sorry, the fans and supporters.
Yeah, I can see that too. Now up top, for me, I'm going to go Ordaz, Martinez, Giroud. The only reason I'm saying that is Ordaz came off in the 68th minute, so I reckon he'll get a start. Bouanga played the full 120. If anything, he deserves a rest. Come on at halftime, depending on how the game's going. And Episoe plays 74 minutes. He could start, but I reckon they'll give him a little bit more of a rest too. Who's your front three?
I see. I still see Bouanga starting. Like, yeah, it was a long day, but again, we has an extra day of rest because it's a Sunday game. I think Ordaz still stays on, and then I would put Episoe, because again, Martinez didn't have the greatest of game. His demeanor felt very frustrated and very just second guessing himself. So I don't want that to come into this game. Again, sub him on, see what he can do, and try to get his motivation and spirits up higher in that substitution. But right now, I don't think that he's the right choice.
Yeah, I understand with that, but I reckon starting him, get his frustrations out, get him have a good long run. I think with Giroud up there with him, Giroud can keep him calm, not get as much frustrated. So, but it'll be interesting to see what we see. Like, obviously, we both agree Ordaz will be playing, he'll be starting. He's killing it at the moment, so we'll see what that's like from there. We've got one more comment in here at the moment. We've also got Jason popping in, saying what's up. He's on vacation up in Oakland. Nice, enjoy your time up there. I think, did Oakland Roots just recently sign a new coach, I believe?
I don't know. I don't really follow that.
I believe their coach is a former LAFC player. If I remember correctly, yes. The new coach is Benny Fellhaber. So I thought I remember seeing that. So seeing that they're the only sports team in Oakland these days. If you're up there, I can go and watch one of their games. They're very local. They do a lot for the city up there too. So there's no hate from me on them. This looks like it's going to be a very short episode again, Tony. Before we finish up the show, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. I'll just go back to the America game. I know you weren't there to witness it or heard any of the pre-game stuff, but the disrespect with the DJ, I understand they're trying to make it a neutral site, but the disrespect on not just us, but also I feel like on the fan base of LAFC and the supporters of playing pretty much America's song, not just once, but multiple times throughout the stadium. I understand, as my child, again, supported this club, so was a fan, has been a fan of this club since I was a little kid and everything like that, but in that stadium, it's LAFC or die. no brakes, no gas, all gas, no brakes. And, the disrespect from that, and just to see I understand, like, we showed up. We showed the world that we're not just like some US supporter group. We showed them what we can, if you want to play Smokes, we'll play Smokes. We'll go up bigger than you. You know what I mean? We'll show you why we can do what you can do, but 10 times better, and show up. MLS saw that. The world saw that. To show that we are true supporters, not just, these one-time things and everything like that. If you let us do what we do, no one can hold a candle to us, not just here in the US, but in the world. There's a lot still to change, and we're still growing. Again, not even what we're just 10 years into as a supporter group in general from everyone, but we're going to be bigger. We're going to keep growing. And so just to call back on that, just like, yeah, did we burn a flag? 100%. That's a rival. What do you expect? I hated rival. You can't have this loyalty of, oh, hey, it's my, I love that team and I love this team. It's just one of those things of just, this is, you're either with us or against us. So don't, and that was just like the whole thing. It's like we had a Medica fan try to walk through our tailgate like nothing's going to happen, waving the flag all proudly like nothing is. We stole that thing and stomped on it. Don't be coming and doing that stuff. We do that outside. We do that in Mexico. We do that anywhere else like that. We're gonna expect to get the same treatment. So shout out to all the people who wore their black and gold, who are still loyal to the crest, to the colors, to the team. We do it for them to give back to us. And you see these moments like that where you just keep seeing it over and over. Just LAFC supporters, the fan base. Yes, there's a lot of yellow there, but we shut them up. We send them home packing. They like, you know what I mean? They ain't like us. We showed up even though on a bad season. We picked ourselves up and we move on. Yes, oh, whatever. Like, we're not into the next round. We should have been this. We're the champions. We should have gone this. So what? You didn't get the opportunity? We did. And what? What are you going to do next? If we get to wear a crest now that not that many teams get to win. And if we win, if we make it past the next round, which is highly likely, there's a possibility. If we make it all the way to the finals and win this whole tournament, sky's the limit. We get a crest. We get a little badge that we get to wear on our jerseys for 4 years. And no one ain't gonna be like that. So let's keep progressing better. Keep pushing our team to be better for us, pushing ourselves to be better. And, keep supporting local and pushing ourselves to be better.
100% there. You look at it too, is especially with the Club World Cup, it's not to all the supporters that were there from LAFC that were out singing, because all you could hear on the TV was our chants going on. There was a couple of times where obviously America chants could be heard, but majority of the time was LAFC chants, which I loved. It showed you how loud, how proud, and how boisterous we are as fan groups and all that kind of stuff. Looking into it, going to the Club World Cup, it's something that not many teams from America can do. Not many teams from North America can do. Not many teams from around the world can do. The day that an Australian team is back in there, because obviously we've had teams in there in the past, but to get back in there is going to be really difficult, seeing that now we're playing Asia, not Oceania. It's going to be amazing to see what we can do. Although we're coming up against teams that are 100, 150 years old, with us being only 10 years old, what's stopping us from rolling the dice, having a crack? You never know what can happen. And as I said earlier, all these young kids that are playing for us, they're not just playing to win on the pitch either. They could also be playing for big money contracts coming from Europe, coming from South America, all that kind of stuff. The world is going to be looking at these guys. The sky's the limit for these players, not just as supporters, as a club, but definitely for the players. The sky's the limit. You never know what's going to happen with them coming into it. With that being said, too, as I say, episode in, out, all the time, going to games is a great release for mental health. Being in the stands, singing, chanting, being around friends, being around people that enjoy the same things as you, support the same things as you, it is majorly important with the help of mental health. If you're struggling, if you need help, reach out, talk to people, reach out to your friends you haven't spoken in a while, talk to them too. Conversations can change and save a life. For all those in the LA County area, LA County Department of Mental Health has a 24-hour helpline. That's 1-800-854-7771. That's 1-800-854-7771. If it's getting extreme, you can text or call 988. That will help you out immensely. It's not taboo to speak. Speaking can help you. Speaking can change you. Speaking can save your life. That's the most important thing that I can stress. And as we go on, obviously we've got this game this weekend. Then next week's an early game. We'll try and work out if or when we do a podcast for that. We most likely will, but we'll work it all out. Again, thank you to everyone that tunes into this week in, week out. Thank you to everyone that comes up and says hi to Tony, Joseph, and me when I'm over at the football games. We can't do this without you guys. We do this for you guys, and we do this for us so we can all catch up, talk stuff that we love, and talk about what we all enjoy. With that being said, Tony, as we finish the show, what do we always do?
Stay golden, Los Angeles.
And from me to all of you guys, as we always say, stay golden.
Thank you for listening to the Heart of LAFC. Make sure to leave us a rating and review on iTunes or Stitcher. Shoulder to shoulder, the black and gold is taking over.